Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. First of all, I want to welcome you all with beautiful flowers from our garden here. They are different. They are roses, but they are very blossom. Because when we buy roses from outside, they put wax on it. So they really never blossom properly. But these are from the tree at the backyard, back garden. So they really blossom nicely. So each one of you this morning, you are Baba's very, very blossom children. Yes? You all are blossomed completely? Yes? Is there anyone who finds your petals are not opening yet? Hmm? I think that's the perfection. That all our petals, all our inner abilities, all our capacities, everything reached to maximum stage of perfection. Anyway, it's a very, very, uh, very different, right? We are in a lockdown world. Right? So there was a joke recently that all the animals came out to watch us because they thought we are in zoo, you know. Generally, we go to watch them in zoo. Now they come and watch us in zoo because we are all inside. Anyway, really, no one of us could think, not BKs, but worldwide, that what is happening will happen. Even when we think of what Baba had said, that there will be time, there will be such diseases that there won't be any treatment. There will be no one for cremations. Now family member leave body in hospital and family is not allowed to go visit them in the end. Only 10 are allowed, that also sometimes 5 are allowed to go for funeral. Everything is online. So this Baba has told us, but when it comes to real situation, I know that some of us, means all of us are okay. So we might not be seeing the seriousness of situation, but it's quite serious because not only virus sickness, but there is some kind of very subtle influence could also be there on the minds. Definitely there is a lot of fear outside world. I'm sitting here, it's a springtime, very beautiful, all green and lot of flowers. But there is not a single person, even our children outside. Everyone is inside because our town is kind of more strict with like not, they don't want to see anyone in anyone's backyard or people sitting, even with social distancing. So we don't see any car, we don't see any person. But at least for me, I'm very happy because from all the windows from all over, is a lot of greenery, lot of beautiful flowers. So on one side, this is happening. But then Dadi Janki leaving us or becoming angel. And I know I met Dadi Janki in October, and I'm happy that I went in October. Even one thought was that many teachers don't go. There were not many double foreigners. But I thought I must go. So we went and I had very, very lovely few meetings actually with Dadi Janki. And I'm so glad that I went. And then every time I went, she said, Whatever she said, immediately write to the whole world. Let everyone know this. This is what I am saying it. And I really, really remember those words, but also we were planning and already given the letters for Devi and other brothers for visa. And they had started working on it because dates were final. Dadi wanted to come. And, but, you know, we know drama is accurate and powerful. You all know that when Mama left body, no one can ever think, but of course, physically, the way doctors were indicating that she doesn't have much time. So we knew in our hearts, through our intellect, yes, Mama will be with us only for a few days. But deep within, this whole concept that after Brahma Baba become awake, Mama will be our leader and we will be Shakti army, and a lot of beautiful thoughts were in our heads. So Baba keeps sending trans messenger. And every time Dadi Gulzar went, there was a big sign. Even she won't see Baba. And that big sign will say drama. She went second time, drama. Then third time, because Baba said she can't go. She has to take care of Yagya. She's the one who was taking care of Yagya. And only word drama was appearing on that curtain. So I think that this is what only word we can say, even when Dadi Janki left Rama. And you all have heard so many stories that once she said, like she when used to go for funeral, we had Dadi Ji's funeral and other Dadis. I don't want anyone to spend even a single cent on my funeral. That's what she said. So when she left body, no, because of lockdown, they couldn't get flowers, they couldn't get anything. Whatever sandalwood garlands they had in the stock, Muni brought all together, and whatever wood they could collect. So her funeral was as she wanted, very simple. Not a cent to be spent were her words. So I just, to honor Dadi, I want to say her 3 words. And also, after 13 days, I had been especially connecting a lot with Dadi Gulzar. This time in February, I really wanted to go, but then twice I planned, even booked the seat, but then both times she had fever, infection, and then they don't allow anyone to visit. So in the end, Niluben said, now you could come, but then we knew what is happening and everyone said, if I have to come here, then just leave now. But I had been connecting very regularly with Niluben and Zoom call with all the sisters who are taking care of Dadi Gulzar. And once in a while we tell them to just let us have a vision. Let us just look at her for a minute. So that we had been doing regularly. So we also wanted to honor her for her new position. And some of us had planned something, but it depends on her health. We haven't been able to do. But really for both Dadis and of course Ratan Mohini Dadi, our love, our respects. So we had been thinking and listening to the other classes of Dadi Gulzar. Not only Avyak Bab Dada, but Dadi Gulzar classes are so powerful. Every morning after Murli, we listen to Dadi Gulzar's short classes, because I believe instead of listening so many classes from all over, if we can listen to our ancestor souls, if we listen to Dadis, because that's so real, it's not all intellectual stuff, or mixed with other information, but they really talk of Nij Gyan, what we say, original knowledge, plus what they applied in their life. Their life was the example of that truth, example of that knowledge. So listening to that is every morning we play the Dadi Janki's class or Dadi Gulzar class after morning, just for 10-15 minutes. Gives so much power and connection with the roots, because they are the roots of Yagya. They are the foundation. So when you listen to them, you feel Baba, you come to know the wisdom and the truth. So yeah. So in our hearts, yeah, our gratitude, our love, respects for all daddies, but especially three daddies. Brijwan Bhai was briefing me how they decided about these three daddies. Only three daddies are there in body. And he thought the management committee and others, they thought this is the best to do it. So Dadi Janki used three words. And as I said many times, she will say, whenever I go, right to the whole world. One was honesty, second is cleanliness, and third was simplicity. Many ask, what is the difference between purity or cleanliness, honesty or cleanliness? These past few days, I had been reflecting and sharing about purity. So honesty in relationship, honesty in money dealings, honesty with one's own self, honesty with Baba. It's a very vast subject of honesty. So even when we will be talking little bit about perfection, moving towards perfection, I would suggest that we all really look at our honesty, total honesty, 100% honesty. Truth comes in honesty also. If you are honest, you will be truthful. And cleanliness here is many different ways. Sometimes there are subtle desires within the soul, and little bit of things for the self, no? Whether acknowledgement of name, acknowledgement of the service I do. But as far as cleanliness connected with honesty and purity is the alloy of tamo and rajo. But also Baba talks of the rust. But the influences, which is called dust, different opinions, looking at different people, what this one said, what that one said. Even we have to listen, maybe just to know even, but in my heart, it should be just what Baba says. What Baba says about anything, everything. So that cleanliness inside is really where no influence. And Dadi must have said thousands of times, no influence. And I used to think, what influence we will have? And now I see many of us have different influences. I read this from here, I heard this from here. This is what I think, lot of different interpretations. And kind of moving away a little bit from absolute truth, complete truth. So power, which is important, could only come when there is truth, there is honesty. And same is simplicity, is serenity of our nature. I read today, tomorrow's Murli, but where Baba is saying, I don't need brains, I need heart. I just need honest and clean heart. I give you the brain. I don't want other kind of brain. So of course, to be intellectual is very good, but not to be intellectual to interpret God in one's own way. And that is why in one of the class, was Baba saying or Dadi Gulzar saying that when there is purity, you come to know God as He is. And then you connect to God as He is. Recognition of God as He is. So simple nature, which is innocence from many things. A lot of people ask me, you know this, you know. I said, I know whatever is needed. I don't need to know everything. Even whatever, a little bit of background, all that, I keep information, so that we are still functioning in a country here, United States, but worldwide. We are organizations, so we keep certain things as information. But I always remind myself that the gift God has given to me and all of us is gift of divine intellect. And especially because I know when I start going in trance and Baba called me, every morning he used to call me at 4 o'clock. And then he said, you have a gift, but don't use it for your own self. And it's only when Baba wants or seniors tell you, then you use it. So I kept lot of attention on intellect, lot. Because ultimately, not only power to discern, but intellect has to connect to God, who is ever pure, to get truth, to get power, to get signals. So simplicity here is also comes where you take whatever, the way Baba says it. But also, of course, now we propose everyone to have simple living. Our food should be simple, everything, because large number of population is really, there is starvation, not enough food. We are lucky Baba provides us everything, but we respect nature, we respect food, so make something very simple every day, offer to Baba. Even bhog we don't make like lot of variety. Because in Shantivan, when it was Dadi Janki's 13th day, so they naturally wanted to offer big bhog. So they made variety. And there were some local government officials there. I don't know how they saw it. And they were so upset, so angry. They say, you are having a treat here when people are starving right at your door, at your gate. Because there are some, they don't have any income these days. many, many. So simplicity from social point of view, from a spiritual point of view, respect for others in the world, we have to be simple in everything. So more you think about that, these three words, this internal honesty and simplicity and cleanliness will help us to move towards perfection. But one of the lesson which I am teaching myself and practicing is that if at this moment I am not perfect, then I'm sure next will be better. Because this moment will lead to the next one, and next one will lead to next one. So many times our whole concept about perfection is one day, one time, 10 o'clock in the morning, I will be perfect. That doesn't happen. Perfection becomes your way of life. Perfection is whatever I am at this moment. Like in Avyak Babdada recently I heard was saying, we say we will become, one day we will become, one day we will be that. But why not today? Why one day? Which day? And then I also remember always, which it applies a lot to me. Any moment can be your last moment. And it's very beautiful. You will listen only tomorrow, but I read in Hindi that Baba wants our end to be golden, celebrating end, like the way Brahma Baba left body. So this morning when I woke up, I said, if God asks me or anyone, what is your wish? Do you have any desire or wish? I will say yes, one. That whatever happens, wherever I am, the soul wants to lay body in Baba's remembrance. That's the only wish, to be in Baba's remembrance. So these are the two thoughts we should keep. Every moment, perfection. Now, even if you find that this moment could have been better, but always remember that drama is perfect. So it has to be perfect both ways. Very, very interesting when you all will start working on it to see that every moment is stage of perfection. But then definitely next moment will be different. So I tell you one little example here. Two examples short from Baba's time. Once Baba told someone, not Baba, but one of the department wanted something to be fixed, and that has to go to Delhi. So every week different groups will come from Delhi. This group was supposed to take this. So instrument forgot the main instrument. So department sister said, oh, what happened? You didn't give this to be fixed. She said, I forgot. So it went to Baba. So those days Baba was their family. So Baba asked that sister, do you think that it's a sinful act? Do you think it's a mistake? So she realized that because Baba said, when it won't be fixed, so many souls who were depending on that instrument will not be able to work, plus they will have wasteful thoughts. So all that burden will go on you because their wasteful thoughts are because of your mistake. So it's not a simple mistake, it's a big mistake. So she became like little sad. So Baba said, why are you sad? Can there be any mistake in drama? She said, no. So on one side, Baba made her realize that it's a mistake, but also on other side, realize it, put full stop, because drama, there is never a mistake. And I always remember that, but just to at that time, okay, at least full stop, say sorry, ask for forgiveness, and underline with determination that this shouldn't repeat again. Because part of perfection also is moving forward. So one time, one sister, young sister, fell from stairs. So she went to Dadi Janki because she was near. Dadi starts scolding her. Why you have to fall? She was very strong, and he said, Dadi, she fall. We brought her for sympathy, right? For good wishes, Dadi will say to her. Dadi said, no, she shouldn't have fallen. I said, but Dadi, she didn't do intentionally. So then we all, kind of, okay, how did you feel? She said, I was coming down. Somebody was calling me from behind. So I was looking up and coming down. So that's why I fell. So Daddy said, look, I told you, no, that you did some mistake. You did some mistake because when you're coming down, you're supposed to look down, not look up and come down. So you miss a step. No? So sometimes what happens in our life, very small things. As I always say, we want to move forward and we always talk about past. So you're going backwards or forwards? You want to move forward. The future is going forward and we keep living on past. Compare, it was so nice, it was so good, it was like this, but that was past, no? So this ability also to move forward and have the vision for the future is very, very important. So perfection, here we have to look at where I am free from mistakes, where I am Tirkaldarshi. And especially at this time, my suggestion and what I pay attention is this collective drill in which Baba every time in 1 second be here, in 1 second do this, 1 second. He doesn't say 1 minute or half a minute. That means my intellect should be not only practicing, but be so free that within 1 second I can be in Paramdham, within 1 second I can be bodiless, within 1 second I can just see through my third eye. So all different practices which Baba asks us to do, and we are, as a student, we are supposed to do, definitely moves us towards perfection. That means whatever that moment is needed, you are able to do that. You are able to connect with Baba within 1 second. No more wandering of mind or intellect wandering or being pulled by anything. This pull is also a big situation. Just imagine at the time of examination, last paper, my intellect is pulled somewhere. It could be influence, it could be different opinions, it could be past sanskars. It gets pulled. So we won't pass with honor. And perfection means every moment, did I pass with honor? Did I maintain my self-respect? I maintain Baba's drishti on me? Is my heart full of good wishes and pure feelings? Many different ways. So moving towards perfection is every moment's journey. And when Baba talks about a breath and moment and even breath, every breath, remember me. With every thought, just have good wishes. He doesn't say after every 10 thoughts, have one good thought or one elevated thought. So as the clock is moving and which nobody can stop, nobody, even there is no battery, even if it stopped, time hasn't stopped. So the value of our thought and breath that is going, is moving. And if I am moving towards increasing my degrees of purity and love and all these powers and qualities, is moving forward, moving towards this stage of perfection. But that perfection has to be felt now, where there is total contentment within. I am moving, I have to move forward, always forward. So experience of, Dadi last year came and always was repeating 4 words. Conqueror of Maya, conqueror of sinful actions, Karmatit, and Prakriti-jit. Karmatit means where I have gone completely beyond any effects of karmas. And Prakriti-jit means conqueror of matter, conqueror of Maya. I always say that we have conquered Ravan, but not Maya. Yes, we don't have anger, lust, greed, but the traces, in a very subtle way, our feelings and our thoughts, when they get affected by anything, then the flow of waste thoughts, loss of self-respect. So Maya comes in a very, very subtle way and start making logic behind that. That the way I behaved was right, the way I spoke was right. Just the logic Maya does. But right is right, wrong is wrong, right? So just look at, first I would say, purity. What we call as 16 celestial degrees, that means pure, pure, pure. So one is pure, other is unadulterated. We call it pavitra, then we say shuddh. Shuddh means unadulterated. So at this time, our thought shouldn't be adulterated from anything from the past, anything from, different ways, very subtle adulteration is there. So the power of that pure thought. I keep coming back because of Murli, you will listen tomorrow. So I don't want to say much, but today Baba also is saying, every pure thought has power and it gets accomplished. So I would just request to look at the purity of thoughts, words, actions, all senses, The food we eat when we cook, remembrance of Baba. And second is very important that I could connect with Baba any second I want. But also a lot of attention on the virtues. That means complete in all virtues. One is all virtues, and I think we all have all virtues. We have all virtues, but not 100%. I have patience maybe 10 times, and 11 time I just give up. Might have tolerance, but then one time I say it's too much, I can't tolerate. But with Brahma Baba, with Dadi Prakashmani, once Dadi Prakashmani was sitting in that little garden where in Panda Bhavan, where, how do I describe? It's next to History Hall, but right in that little area. She was sitting and there were two, three others. And one person was saying things which were, I didn't felt very comfortable to Dadi, were not relevant. So we were getting like, can we, oh, I can tell him, stop it. Why are you saying all this to Dadi? And Dadi keeps saying, sit, sit, sit. So then in the end, when it finished, we asked Dadi, Prakashmani, Dadi, you didn't feel bad at all what he was saying? Dadi said, oh, I was not listening. I was checking my 8 powers. I was checking if my tolerance working. Is my power to accommodate working? And I really remember that so much, that anytime any situation comes, is a test paper to see if your power is working or not. But all the time saying this is a big thing, it shouldn't have happened, this shouldn't. And it happens that many times like I thought, oh, I have conquered this. So something happened 2 nights before. And it really kind of little bit made me that, no, it shouldn't be like this. So I thought before I say something or get that thing improved, it affected me because I'm not detached from that. My expectations were there and I was not detached. That's why even for a few moments, it affected me. So I started working on my stage to be detached. Because we are detached, but with some situations, some people, you don't realize that there are expectations, and then it hurts, no? So this way, perfection, it's like always you look for something and you correct it. You, instead of saying, I have to get that person straight first. So I keep telling that person, you shouldn't have done this, all that. And but I said, but why am I affected by whatever anyone is saying? Because I'm not detached. So Dadi Prakashmani's example always comes in front of me. That I failed, no? Even the other person is right or wrong, was wrong and could have been better, but then why I took it this way? It's a very subtle kind of checking. I'm very happy that we all could be together. It's time difference and all that, I know. So very few hours of the day we could be together. And I know that we all are in peaceful age in a subtle form. And of course, there also I see a lot of flowers are blossoming, and I know what Dorothy Ben must be missing her transport, sending you bring you from airports. She was planning to get more vans. According to drama, it didn't happen because all are still idle, sitting idle. Nobody. It's amazing that how, if you tell Baba, Baba, even you could have indicated little bit, what will Baba say? Once we asked Baba, Baba said, drama is real. I can't tell you in advance. On one side, he said it's destined, but then he said it's real. You have to, and it's true. It's real, no? In the sense, yes, we know terrorism, we know natural calamities, we know everyone is ready with their bombs, but just one virus lock down whole world. I don't think anyone could really, but uh, we know that it had to happen. So every moment, your last wish should be, I have to be in Baba's remembrance. Someone wanted to be at one place, other place. All those who wanted, wherever they wanted, they are stuck for a few months. And we don't want to get stuck, right? Even they are happy because they are stuck. Oh, I could be now India more, or I could be in here more. But on one side, we know that also any subtle desire is there. When we are karmantit, we are in Baba's remembrance. I don't have desire. Only one desire is, Baba, I want to be in your remembrance. As is the end, so is the beginning. So I go home. So you all are very, very good effort makers, and I know you had been studying well. I had been reading Murli few times because you really don't get immediately what are the jewels in the Murli. You only see the points of the Murli. But how that point can be a power, how that point can be a treasure, how that point is a virtue, that takes lot of. So we have good time for study. And I know that most of us are good in Amrit Vela. Since we started Amrit Vela 3:30 here, you will be surprised there are 180, 200 already, it's like full. So there is, and we are instruments, right? The students are making so much effort. And I was telling some instruments that if they have experienced something more than what you have, then how will you sustain them? As instruments, we have to be few steps ahead in experiencing, in practicing, so that they could get sustenance from us. Otherwise, they are listening, they can listen. Someone said, I listen only from Shantivan, I from anywhere they listen only. But sustenance comes from what I am sustaining myself with. So my request to all the instruments is that in your studies, in your practice, in your Amrit Vela, in your use of powers, your stage, you have to be ahead few steps so that you have power to sustain. Like whenever I went to Dadi's Madhuban, I only wanted to see the stage because they taking another step, another step. So all the instruments have to really, really take it very sincerely with studies, with chart, with transformation, with experiences. And Baba is saying that now, again, the only you will listen, not the time for service through words, not time to serve through the brain, but hearts should be touched. Souls should be touched, and that will happen through your attitude and drishti. New tools Baba gave for service. So that only you will listen tomorrow, but lots of love from Baba. Welcome to Peace Village. And of course, we will be together for 2 days. And I appreciate you had a lot of patience at the midday, right? But you all still sitting very alert. And I know it's time difference, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. But to everyone, lots of love from Baba, and also my love for each one of you. Om Shanti.